everyone, I am Crawlers and this is another episode of Ridiculous Loadout. As you may have already known by now, this is a series I started way back when in the Battlefield 3 days, basically whoring myself out for cheap views, running a suggested loadout from one of the comments from you in the comments section. Uh, Mostly this is a not so tactical series where, most of the loadouts are either bad or troll or just plain ugly looking. And rarely I get a chance to try out a combination, a kit that I haven't thought of before, and maybe have good results with it. Mostly not though. Okay, so this time it was kind of tough to choose a loadout to run. I had several very good suggestions, one of them very specific, which I like, from Dadomsky, of a Scout Elite with some special add-ons and a huge ass scope. Well, the only reason I didn't run that loadout and I ran this loadout is because I wanted a chance to try out the Scorpion, see how it plays out, see how it handles. And the strange thing is I never really ran this gun before. I mean, before this episode of Loadout, I had maybe a dozen kills on it max. So I never really field tested it. So that's the reason I chose this loadout, because I've played with long-range sniper rifles before, and I'm kind of rubbish with long-range sniping, I get sniped from 700 meters away even before I set up my rifle. Alright, so this time Vic88 suggested a CZ3A1 Scorpion with a heavy barrel and a Russian PSO-1 scope. And I mean, I had very mixed feelings about this kit. On the one side, it's pretty bad in most situations, and I mean, these add-ons, they make it arguably worse. I mean, the scope, the 4x scope is pretty much redundant. But, then again, once I sort of changed my playstyle and adjusted it to the strengths of this gun, I was able to pull off a bit of a streak with it as I was going on, a bit of a defensive, not offensive run and gun style. So, goes to show you that all weird setups can be adapted to certain situations. Alright, so let's see what the CZ3A1 has going for it. Well, first of all, it's a PDW, so it's available only to the engineer class in Battlefield 4. It's a lightweight submachine gun manufactured in the Czech Republic, and it appeared in a few FPS shooters before Battlefield 4, almost said Battlefield 3 there, most notably Call of Poopy. So, alright, let's get to the actual stats of the Scorpion. Its max damage is 25 at 8 meters, and it drops off to 12.1 at 55 meters, which seems to be about on par with the rest of the PDWs, except of course the UMP-45. It fires the 9mm round from a magazine of 30 at 370 meters a second of muzzle velocity at an astonishing 1000 RPM. Now, what this means is that, first of all, you only have 1.8 seconds of continuous fire per magazine, so, don't hold that left mouse button until you run out of bullets. Try to shoot in short bursts because it will be more control. And also, the upwards recoil per shot, which is already the worst among all PDWs at 0.4, is by far worsened by the biggest first shot multiplier among PDWs at 3.3, meaning that this is a super inaccurate weapon at anything but very close range. Now, this is only made worse by the fact that I had to stare down a 4 times magnification scope, which only made the kick look worse through the magic of magnification. Incidentally, this CZ3A1 also has a reload time of 1.9 seconds for the short reload, which isn't actually that bad, and a longer 2.4 seconds for the long reload, which is actually on the short side among, most of the guns, which I guess is one of the strengths, but it will seem long to you when you are under fire. And it also has a left pull of 0.3 and a right pull of 0.55. Now, this is all well and good, but what about the heavy barrel, you might ask? Well, the heavy barrel indeed requires an explanation. You see, because the heavy barrel in Battlefield 4 does not act like it did in Battlefield 3. It has been pretty severely nerfed, in fact. Because you see, in Battlefield 3, it moved the minimum damage drop-off of the weapon further out, making the bullet seem like it did more damage when in reality it did the same damage, just further out at a bigger radius. And in Battlefield 4, the heavy barrel does not extend the minimum damage drop-off of the bullet anymore. So in that sense it's been nerfed, but it does help by increasing the accuracy of the aimed fire by 50%. And this is important because this is a pretty inaccurate weapon. So you can be sure that your first shot is going to be a little bit more accurate if you aim down sight. But as a trade-off, it also makes the gun more unstable by increasing the vertical kick or the muzzle climb of the weapon. And if you remember, the vertical kick of this gun is already, the biggest kick among all PDWs, and with the first shot multiplier of 3.3, it's going to be, a very, very bad, unstable weapon. So it's a trade-off. I mean, if you can burst fire it in real short aimed bursts, then you're gonna get some surprise kills. Another thing to keep in mind is that the weapon has a ridiculous rate of fire, and as I said, you will melt through your magazine at 1.8 seconds of continuous fire. So, it's therefore a quick hit and run weapon, not spray and pray type weapon where you hold the mouse button in for a whole minute and just, spray everything down. So, keep your bursts as short as you can, keep them to a minimum, and pretty much reload after every kill. So, with this weapon you can understand it's impossible to confront more than 1 or 2 enemies at a time if you're lucky. More than that and you're gonna be pretty much shot to shit. And remember that the vertical kick will act on every shot. So, at 1000 RPM, aiming will be a moot point, So, as I said, try to keep it short, keep out of places with long sight lines, because this is a pretty much close range weapon, and stay to the areas of the map where you know you can win the firefight. Up close is good, and pretty much keep to a controlled situation where you can meet 1 or maximum 2 enemies at a time. And when you start shooting at the target, start from the bottom, as the high vertical kick will, make this weapon bounce up and right on target. So thanks for watching. Please rate and share this video as it helps my channel grow. And check out my other videos at the end of this one. And remember, in Soviet Russia, YouTube subscribes you.